you look back and you can see all the markers, right? So you look back, and at the time, with a father who's a surgeon, an APGAR score of 9.8, pediatricians saying, don't worry, 18 months, when things began to change, as a son of a physician and also somebody who spends a great deal of time on the internet and stuff, you began to just have a gnawing feeling in the stomach, like a storm approaching.
The day of diagnosis was a bad day because I was holding on to hope that it would not be a genetic disorder, that it would just be something minor that we could fix with some medicine or a change in diet.
MECP2 is very important through the life of a neuron, and you need just the right amount. I usually like to tell people it's like oil in your car. You can't have too much or too little. When you have too much, you have a MECP2 duplication syndrome, which mostly affects boys, and they have autistic features and seizures. When you have too little, you have a disease called Rett syndrome. And Rett syndrome usually affects girls. They lose the ability to speak and use their hands. There's some similarities between the two disorders, which makes us think that either having too much or too little leads to the same ultimate problem, which is dysfunction of the neurons, the cells in your brain.
You never know if they're going to walk or how long they're going to walk. So the smallest things that they learn, is just the best thing in the world.
It's amazing to me what Dr. Zogby has done in the labs and the people that work with her, what they're coming up with.
MECP2 is sort of like the conductor of an orchestra. So if you think of it as being a gene and a protein that control the functions and levels of many other genes, as you discover ways to tweak its function, you might also find which subsets of genes are affected and affect symptoms such as autism, seizures, intellectual disability. So potentially, some of the treatment we might discover for this disorder might help subset of disorders where their genes are typically controlled by that protein.
We've learned that so many of these genetic diseases are connected, and finding information about one could help in another area. So it's not just for this specific rare disease, but it could help others, such as Rett syndrome.
I think we're at a critical time because with all the excitement about what their discoveries have brought us, the funding is shrinking. Certainly the NIH has limited funds and we don't see growth in that area, while there's a great potential to support the research. And without research, we would not have discovered that these genes are the cause of the disorder. And with research is the only way we're going to get treatment closer to human.